Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and welcome to another episode of the WIW Draft Combine. We are continuing our hunt for the best that World Wrestling has to offer. We are here, and we are kicking things off with one of what will be 3 Battle Royals tonight, and I'll explain what these Battle Royals are for. They are more to determine people's ranks. Basically, 24 people, 24 of the male superstars have been split off into 8 Battle Royals. The first of which, people who are right now currently sitting on the lower end of the draft stock and are probably at risk of losing out on a WIW contract if they don't start progressing a bit further forward up the card. The second one, the middle of the pack people, the people who are in a good spot right now but will need to move higher in order to get more points. So they need to prove themselves just that bit more, but they're also at risk of falling into the lower tiers as well. And then the third Battle Royal, the elite of the elite, the people who are the #1 prospects right now according to the draft stock. Now, the importance, of course, of the draft, of course, is to get the contract, get signed no matter what. However, if you are higher in the draft, you will start with more points, and when the point system is introduced, it will be hugely beneficial to start at the top of the pile. Believe me. More on that when we get into the details of the point system. We've already seen Stephen Miller come out here, who's probably a shock to people in this Battle Royal, but so far he hasn't done much to impress in the reboot. He's going to need to really show him stuff here in this match, as is this man, who had a good first outing, James Barton, in his first Fatal 4-Way, but didn't quite impress that well. He survived for a little bit and got some good moves in, but he's going to need to show a whole new side of him to really push himself in this matchup. And the time limit will still be enforced, by the way, 15 minutes, so if there are still 2 or more people left in the ring, if no one gets eliminated in those 15 minutes, we could get ourselves a tie. Next down to the ring is Aftershock, another luchador. I feel like you'll notice a trend here about the big men and the smaller guys having to have a different balance there this year. Traditionally, our Cruiserweight division was always our strongest, but it's looking like the new luchadors and the new upcomers from the Cruiserweights need to prove themselves quite a bit. Another man who needs to prove himself, he may be a legacy, but right now he's letting his legacy be tarnished. The former Leagues of Gods Tag Champion, of course. It is, of course, the Greek god himself, Durmus, who, despite being in a training facility, still feels the need to try and set off the fire alarms with fire, of course. Now, Durmus has always been a man who believes he's unbeaten, but he really needs to start putting those wins into, well, actual wins, not just ones that he's made up in his head because the opponents aren't Greek. Durmus really needs to push himself in this matchup to start showing himself, because his first one against Ahmet Ali was quite embarrassing. Another man desperate to prove himself is Yuri. Niles did not have a great first outing in his Fatal 4-Way. I believe he was in the same Fatal 4-Way as James Barton was. And so he'll be eager to impress and move his way up the rankings. Out next, a man who is no stranger to the Battle Royal, the first ever winner of the Nathan Loke Memorial Battle Royal, Robert Hall. And a win here in this Battle Royal is going to go a long way, especially in this first one, where everyone's a bit lower on the card, looking to prove themselves. A lot of these people are newcomers who will be desperate for a chance. Robert Hall is someone who is established, who will have tenure, which will go in his favor, more than most, but he needs to convert that into some wins and into some impressive performances, and in his first outing last time, he didn't quite do that. Another man who will be eager to impress is the leader of the Acolytes of the Apocalypse, Austin Black, excuse me. I knew that was going to happen at least once. Austin Black is out here determined to prove himself. You will see more members of the Acolytes tonight. The rest of them will be debuting in tag team action and in women's action. And so for Austin, he has a huge chance here to really cement himself in terms as the leader, but also to get some wins on the board for the group, because it's important to get group momentum here. He may have the others to help him level out his rank, but he really needs to prove himself if he's going to do that. And out last, the former Jake Griffiths and former Cruiserweight Champion, Jakobah Coney. The Burrow is desperate to impress. He has not had a good first performance in his Fatal 4-Way. I've basically described it as a triple threat match many times already, because he was eliminated within the first 5 or 6 minutes, and he had an okay showing, but he was eliminated quite early, and the rest of them managed to see out the 15 minutes, which doesn't look good for Jakobah, even if he did have an impressive spell in that matchup. And the former Cruiserweight champ will be looking to assert dominance in this match, move himself up the rankings with a huge win, and really show why the year of the Burrow was made possible at the time. He was a huge threat in the old WIW days, but those days are half a decade away now.
15 minutes on the clock, bell rings, and away we go. You've only got 15 minutes to do this. This is going to be maybe easier than last time, maybe a bit harder, but we'll see. There are 8 men trapped in the ring, so it's not like you have the breathing room. You need to have your head on a swivel, and you need to be paying attention at all times. And in this one, a mixture of WIW alumni, from Coney to Simon Miller to Durmus to Robert Hall, and then a bunch of newcomers here in Aftershock, James Barton, and look at that, Barton there, an impressive move on the other newcomer, Yuri Niles, as well as Austin Black. Now right now, I'd say that these lot are probably going to be on the lower end of the draft list, but that's why this match is more important to them. People who have not necessarily had the greatest of showings so far across the trials, so they need to get their step up there here, and one of those people that really need to get to step it is Durmus. Durmus, of course, issued an open challenge to try and prove his worth. We know what he's capable of, but hasn't been able to show it. The former Mayhem and Fight Night Tag Team Champion in the League of Gods, but his attempts to go solo haven't exactly gone his way so far. And of course, for the newcomers in Niles and Black and Barton, they haven't had as many chances to show themselves, and they don't have the history of being a WIW alumni to help back their claims, so they really need to impress with the opportunities they get, and Niles is looking to do just that by getting rid of the former Cruiserweight champion in Jakobah Coney, who hasn't had a great trial so far. The open trials and the open combine has not been too kind to him, and he was able to free himself there, and now some double team work here between Robert Hall and Aftershock. Quite a mesh of styles there, but Robert Hall, as we know, straight on job there. Now, if you'd have favoured anyone in this match, you would have to say Robert Hall, because of course Robert Hall, the winner of the first ever Nathan Lowe Memorial Battle Royal. And we have our first elimination there, as the real deal Stephen Miller eliminates Austin Black. And he's not going to be happy with that. The first elimination in his Battle Royal, Austin Black. Oh no, actually, maybe he wasn't actually. But that's not going to help his cause. Another defeat on the record. You needed to show up here in this matchup, and he hasn't done so here. Austin Black going back to the locker room for an early shower. And we are down to 7 here. And right now, Durmus and Robert Hall seem to have control of the matchup, but once again getting caught too soon. Commentators curse as Aftershock plants down Robert Hall. And right now, Barton taking time to recover, as is Stephen Miller after the first elimination. Risky maneuvers there from Yuri Niles, but the risk pays off. Meanwhile, Coney wiping out Durmus. Selena Del Sol from James Barton. And a lot of action right now in this matchup, and we've got 2 more Battle Royals to come. And again, just because you're down in this Battle Royal doesn't mean you ain't going to have a chance to work your way up. Another Selena Del Sol, this time to Stephen Miller. And right now, James Barton is cleaning house. He's wiping out everybody. But may have taken on more than he can chew there as he ran back to Stephen Miller, and Miller had it scouted. And he sends Barton back to recovery. And Barton's doing a smart thing here. Comes in, has a couple of flurries of offense, and then takes a minute to breathe. Oh, and look at this. Robert Hall dangling here, but he skins the cat, and he's back in the match. And Durmus almost getting his first elimination. And another double team with Aftershock. This time with Jakobah Coney, and they both plant down Durmus. And Aftershock being very smart here, using little alliances to keep himself in contention, to help deal with other people there, and I think he might have just cut Durmus open. Durmus needs a strong showing here. He has not been himself as of late, and Aftershock right now is in complete control of him, but he needs to pay attention because Coney from behind gets him up for a Falcon Arrow. And Coney now looking to get a spell of his own as he's going to wipe out the field. Oh my god, what a maneuver! And now look at this, working with Robert Hall to take out another, as down goes Yuri Niles. And now going straight onto Robert Hall. What a spell, this is all, and he could have got rid of Robert Hall. It had not been for the Stephen Miller interruption. And what a flurry there from Jakobah Coney. That is by far the most impressive he has looked during the stint of this Trials. And Stephen Miller now, the real deal, looking to live up to the name. And he's trying to stay on top of Yuri Niles right now, but Niles is able to stay on top and in control. But he's attacked from behind by James Barton. And wow, look at the gash at the top of the eye of Durmus there. He's cut bad, and that could really hurt him. And now Yuri Niles seeking his attention to James Barton. Wipes him out with an elbow. And meanwhile, an abdominal stretch, an attempt to wear down Robert Hall in the middle of the ring. 5 minutes gone. Only one elimination so far, and that being Austin Black. And now Yuri Niles looking to make it a second. Gets him over the top rope. Oh, but Durmus with the save. Durmus with the save there of James Barton. Keeps him alive in the matchup. And now Robert Hall trying to eliminate Durmus as James Barton gets back in. This would be a big elimination if he gets it, and he does. Robert Hall eliminates Durmus. Now, I'm not sure if that was the showing that Durmus needed. He was clearly working hurt there with the cut above the eye, but it's not worked out in his favor. And Robert Hall, who's seeming to be a Battle Royal specialist at this point, gets it done. And it looks like it's the end of Barton's night as well, as Yuri Niles eliminates James Barton. And Barton had an impressive showing for the most part in that matchup, but he couldn't survive for long enough, as Yuri Niles gets the job done, and we are down, just magically, back to 5. Stephen Miller, Aftershock, Jakobah Coney, Robert Hall, who flips out there and lands a knee that targets both men, and Yuri Niles, who's looking for his second elimination here, if he can get Jakobah Coney. But Coney skins the cat, and he holds on as well. And now look at this. Twist of fate there from Yuri Niles, who is starting to get into a rhythm of things. Coney trying to slow down his momentum. Grabs hold of him, trying to get rid of him for the match, but no, Stephen Miller makes the save, helping him stay alive in the matchup, and now going for an elimination of his own, going after Aftershock, and gets him. Aftershock is eliminated, and we are down to the final 4, and Robert Hall, double drop kick there, oh, and into a spinning heel kick from Robert Hall, and now has Yuri Niles in a spot of bother, trying to eliminate him. And it looks like Coney was thinking about helping, but he's left Robert Hall to do the job. And Robert Hall gets another elimination. This time, Yuri Niles is eliminated. And we are down to 3 WIW alumni here. The real deal Stephen Miller, Robert Hall, the winner of the Nathan Loke Memorial Battle Royal, and a former Cruiserweight champion in Jakobah Coney. 3 men who need this momentum. Who's going to be able to get it done? Coney is looking to get rid of Stephen Miller now. This could be a big elimination if he can get it. Bring it down to just him and Robert Hall. He can only get him over the top rope. And Stephen Miller only with one arm on the rope and needs to cling on. He's got both hands back. And it's no good. And now these 3 scrapping in the middle of the ring, trading strikes, the 3 of them. Looking to get the upper hand. Robert Hall sends Coney into the corner, but isn't paying attention to Stephen Miller, who's looking now to eliminate him. And now Robert Hall might have made a pivotal mistake. Oh no, and Stephen Miller instead is going to go for Coney in the corner. Robert Hall stays in, he holds on for now. And right now Coney needs to hold on because he is in serious trouble here. Jakobah Coney pressed up in the corner by Stephen Miller. Gets out, oh no! Miller gets hit with a spinning heel kick. And he's knocked out, but he's standing. He is out cold. But he has stayed on his feet. Look at him, he is completely gone. It's a standing knockout. And now Coney looking again for the Falcon Arrow. This time to Robert Hall. And he plants it. And sees Miller, who is in a dazed state. He is completely out of it. And this could and should be an easy elimination, and it is. Stephen Miller was knocked out by the Robert Hall spinning heel kick. And Stephen Miller is eliminated. And we are now down to Robert Hall and Jakobah Coney. Coney, this would be huge if he can get this one done. He hasn't had the best showings in the trials so far. And so this could be his moment to shine. And it is. Robert Hall is eliminated. And Jakobah Coney is your winner. The Borough finally starts to get himself back on track. It hasn't been the best of returns for the man. But a huge win in this Battle Royal is going to move him higher up the rankings. And this is exactly what he needed. An impressive win from the Borough. A man who once promised us a year of dominance and delivered on it. and he wanted and promised us a win tonight, and he was able to deliver on that promise. A huge win for Jakobah Coney. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card.
Now it is time for some tag action. We need to see everyone as much as possible here in the Combine, which is why we're going to get to see some new teams here tonight. Out first, the two as I previously mentioned in the introduction to the previous match, the other two members of the Acolytes of Apocalypse. These two will be here tonight, desperate to get that first win for the Acolytes. Austin Black was unfortunate and couldn't win in the Battle Royal. If these two can win, that will definitely elevate the stock of their leader as well. Because while stables will not be drafted together, and the tag teams and the singles guys will be drafted in separate categories, they're going to be wanting to impress, and by winning as a tag team, they're going to bring up the stock of their leader. And a team who's already brought up their stock with their fantastic win at One for the Road, Peter Bolton, Alan Hart, the former Fight Night Tag Team Champions, two-time in fact, the Aces of Harts, who will be looking to come in and assert their dominance. They've already seen returning alumni teams like the Linebacks and the Order and the Immortals come in and show what they are really capable of, as well as a bunch of new teams onto the scene. They are definitely going to need to prove themselves. And another team desperate to prove themselves, our newest members of the tag division, Marvelous, Ricky Reed, and Mark Martinez, otherwise known as the Lone Star Express. A throwback to traditional 80s tag wrestling, and you know how much I love traditional tag wrestling. These two are here itching to improve and show off their amazing craft here in WIW against two other well-established teams who need the chance to prove themselves as well. Can the Lone Star Express pull off a huge upset here tonight?
15 minutes on the clock, bell rings and away we go, and what a collection of superstars we have in this matchup. Only the one established team in this one, of course, with the former Alan Hart and Peter Bolton, the Aces of Hearts, the former tag team champions of WIW. And they're already going to be high up in the tag rankings, it's fair to say. Former tag team champions of the Fight Night division. A big win, of course, in the tag team showcase match that took place at One for the Road. They are going to be already high up in the tag regards. Another win here would go wonders for them. But of course, two new tag teams entering the fray. The two big men in the jeans, of course, who have formed that alliance with Austin Black representing the Acolytes of the Apocalypse, Akane and Azrael, who will be teaming together here, hoping to powerhouse their way through here. And a big tiger driver there to Peter Bolton. From our other newest members of the tag division, or at least looking to become a part of the tag division going forward, Ricky Reed and Mark Martinez, an homage to traditional 80s wrestling and tag team style. And that's the type of tag team that we want here representing, but it's about now whether they can hold their own. They look the part, and they are certainly going to need to prove that they can do the job. And right now, Mark Martinez getting 2v1'd here on the outside by the Acolytes of the Apocalypse. Meanwhile, in the ring, the same can be said for Ricky Reed, who is getting 2v1'd against the Aces of Hearts. But it looks like they split off now as Alan Hart is in pursuit of Azrael. And gets him up here. He doesn't look like he hooks him properly, but he knees him in the jaw. And now Mark Martinez brings in the kendo stick on Akane and looking to get the first cover of this match. Remember, 15 minutes, eliminations. The ring is the only place where these eliminations can occur, and Mark Martinez almost getting the first of those. And a big clothesline there from Akane. Now, Austin Black hasn't exactly had the best of starts to life, but you've got to think that having members of his faction here will definitely boost his rankings. Akane and Azrael have a chance here to really elevate their leader, who has so far not exactly delivered on what he's been expected to do. A big win for them could mean big things for him going forward as well. And right now we've got two little triple threats going on here. Mark Martinez, Peter Bolton, and Akane in the ring. Meanwhile, Azrael, Mark Martinez, and Alan Hart, who's just been whacked across the face with steps by Ricky Reed, And I need to keep track of all these names here. There's a lot of new people learning as we go. Big suplex there from Marvelous Ricky Reed. A big suplex again. He's holding on still. Maybe looking for a third one, and he connects. Meanwhile, Akane and Mark Martinez once again locking horns in the middle of the ring. And in the tag ranks, there's a lot of big teams who have returned and looking to make their names as they're going across. Of course, the Samoa Society have already made a very strong impact so far. Of course, we've got the former tag champions in the ring as well with the linebacks. So there's a lot of big names off the lariat there from Mark Martinez, who gets a 2 count in the early goings here. So a lot of big established names. Of course, we've seen the Immortals return. Oh my god! Massive spinning sit-out pile driver there. And that's probably the end of Akane, and it is. Mark Martinez picks up the first elimination of the match. Jesus Christ, he's going to need to check for head injuries after that. Akane is the first out of there. Azrael is the only member of the Acolytes, left in the ring. Or the AOA, I guess, could be a good short for them. And now the former tag champions of the Ace and Harts going after both members of the Lone Star Express. But in comes Azrael there in the background, going after Peter Bolton. Now remember, Akane is eliminated. He can watch if he chooses to, which he seems to be, but he cannot get involved. Oh, and Peter Bolton, nicely done there. Massive Shining Wizard, which we have been informed he is now calling the new Ace in the Hole, and that could have been the end of the Apocalypse. The Acolytes hold on, and a massive lariat there to Marvelous Ricky Reed. Is that enough to get rid of Ricky Reed? It's not, it's a 2 count. And right now, the Acolytes of the Apocalypse are struggling as it is just Azrael. But right now, it looks like Peter Bolton is coping badly, by the way. I've just noticed Alan Hart coming to his rescue. We saw this at the pay-per-view get a big elimination, and he lands it. And the tag team work again is superb from the Aces of Hearts. But Mark Martinez is able to power out. 5 minutes gone, only 1 elimination. Right now, the Aces of Hearts working on Mark Martinez, whilst Azrael is dealing with Ricky Reed. A lot of action here in the tag team scene, and Alan Hart is progressing forward, trying to get rid of Azrael, the last surviving member of that team. He's landed some big hits in this match, but not enough to see anybody out just yet. And now look at this, the combos here from Azrael. Not quite what you'd expect to see from a guy of his size, but it's a big one nonetheless. And Bolton's not paying attention. His tag partner almost got eliminated there. Instead, he trying to stay on top of both of the Lone Star Express. But Ricky Reed able to survive with a chuck block. And now his partner's in trouble as Mark Martinez is getting lined up for something here by Azrael. No, actually, Azrael deciding against whatever he was going to do, instead trying to stay on top of Martinez, who's able to dodge the elbow, and now he's on top of Alan Hart. I want a bit of posing here from Mark Martinez, and he might learn to pay for that mistake. Azrael's got him up. Dominator! And Hart just going to taunt. He's going to let him do that. Big mistake from Mark Martinez. He is out of there. And we are down to 1 member of the Lone Star, and it looks like we've got a similar situation to one for the road. Alan Hart and Peter Bolton have survived, and only 1 member of the other team remains. And Azrael will need to make sure that he doesn't make the same mistake that Nux has made on the several occasions he's had these type of matchups. A cut there on top of Ricky Reed. He's pinned on the DDT, but I think a submission's going on elsewhere, which was preventing the pinfall. And oh, he goes right straight back in to a massive spine buster from Peter Bolton. And Bolton's going up top now, whilst his partner is in trouble with Azrael. He's handling things in the ring. A massive elbow drop to Ricky Reed, and that could be the end of Ricky Reed's night. Oh, but Ricky Reed is able to power out. The marvelous Ricky Reed powers out of the elbow drop, but Peter Bolton is in control. He needs to be careful. This night could be ending a lot shorter than he would have liked. The Ace in the Hole again. And Peter Bolton, whilst Alan Hart is dealing with the last Acolyte, gets rid of the Lone Star Express. And honestly, considering Alan Hart and Peter Bolton were not exactly friends when they formed the Aces of Hearts, these two have been absolutely unreal as of late. It's like they've spent the last 5 years just teaming together. And yet, to my knowledge, I don't think they've been a team outside of here. But right now, Azrael has an impossible task on his hand, and we're looking at one for the road all over again. Azrael is 2-on-1 with the Aces of Hearts, who right now, maybe bar some of the other teams like the Immortals, the Linebacks, maybe even chopping the Linebacks at this point, they look like one of the best teams in WIW right now. And now Peter Bolton with a sledgehammer in hand and right to the gut. But this is where they need to be careful now as well. The Aces of Hearts, that's exactly what I was about to say. Making sure they don't get in each other's way, and they did there with the sledgehammer hit. And Alan Hart is going to try and stay back on top of Azrael. Azrael's best chance really is to survive. He can go down as a draw. It would show the determination of the Acolytes and the Apocalypse, who haven't exactly had the best of showings in this matchup. But Azrael staying alive is really helping here. But good lord, this is an absolute mugging. Look at this, Azrael fighting with every bit of breath he can. But it's 2-on-1. There's too much to deal with here. And even a big man like Azrael is not going to survive these type of circumstances. Peter Bolt, oh, they both missed there. Both go crashing into the barricade. Now Azrael might be able to get some other hand. But a double strike there. Nice bit of teamwork from the Aces of Hearts. They're trying their best to stay in control, and they are doing a bloody good job of it. Right into the barricade. Oh no, he's hit. He's hit hard again with the sledgehammer. And I think these two need to be a bit more coordinated when it comes to the weapon uses, because Hart is going to start taking some serious hits if he's not careful. Big knee. And these two just playing with their food right now. They should just get him in the ring and try and wrap this one up. And right now, Azrael is having to do one hell of a survival job. But Alan Hart staying in control of him, and now can get him in the ring. He does. Can one of the two finish this? Look at this. Right now, Azrael has no chance. And now look at this. Bolton's going to give him some space to get another weapon. He's gone back to the sledgehammer. It's given Azrael some room to breathe. But again, he has to keep an eye on all the comers. And he gets hit with the sledgehammer again. And right now, we're just waiting for the inevitable here. Another sledgehammer hit from Peter Bolton. With 5 minutes remaining, Azrael has been beaten within an inch of his life right now. And his night could get worse yet. Looking for a submission here. Almost a cloverleaf of sorts. And Azrael, who has already taken one hell of a beating in this match. This could be how he goes. And Hart just watching on as his tag partner is in control of Azrael. But Azrael does manage to power out. Somehow, he's still surviving. And now, look at this. Another submission maybe being applied. Oh, wait, no. Oh, look at this. Just stomping on him. I think it's over. Save yourself. It's not worth it. The Aces of Heart just absolutely destroying Azrael. And they've once again cleaned house for their second tag match in a row. They have cleaned house on really tough opponents as well. I thought for a second Azrael was just going to keep going and going, but eventually they were able to knock him out cold. And once again, Bolton and Hart have done it. The Aces of Heart are back, and they are stronger than they've ever been by the looks of it. The former tag team champions dominating the scene once again, and they score a huge victory, which is going to give them a sheer ton of momentum going forward. Could we be looking at the #1 tag ranking team here in these two? They are really starting to show that they are the real deal in the tag division. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card.
We've had the tag showcase. We've had 2 singles battle royals for the men's division. It's now time to showcase once again the women's division. Fatal 4-way action. You know the drill by now. 15 minutes. Eliminations apply. Pins or submissions must take place in the ring. And out first, another member of the Acolytes. That's right. This seems to be the Acolytes episode. It is Akira Black, who will be looking to make a strong debut here. It is the hardest thing in the world in WIW lore to win your first match, and she'll be eager to impress here. She's got one hell of a field, a mix of debutees and returnees, so she will be desperate to cement herself here and get the Acolytes their first win in proceedings. Austin Black unable to do it earlier, and despite being the final team remaining, bar the Aces of Hearts, they were unable to win the tag match. But the Acolytes, being a collective, will help pull each other up the rankings of their respective divisions. But someone who doesn't need much help with the pulling of the divisions right now is Katherine Albright, who has made her return, won a huge win against two-time Mayhem Women's Champion Hallie Bowen, or Hallie Ritchie as she is now, in the One for the Road special, and now will be looking to push herself even higher up that ranking. A big win here tonight, and we could be looking at the #1 prospect in the women's division. Maybe we'll see what proceedings hold here, but Katherine Albright will be looking to cement herself as one of the top women in the division. And now out next, a debut we've been anticipating since the announcement from Brad Skeens and herself on Twitter, or X, or whatever it's called now. Cassidy Violet, trained by the former world champion Brad Skeens, looking to come in and implement her own style and stamp her own legacy in WIW. The women's division has always been one with tough competition, so we'll see if Brad Skeens, the Justice Leader, who will be in tonight's main event, can really show what Cassidy Violet is all about here and really get her own stamp on things. And another Cassidy now making her way to the ring. Our final entrant tonight is self-proclaimed Queen Cassidy Cross. Now, to my knowledge, the Queen is not a nickname for her. She genuinely believes that she is royalty. Well, a chance to be wrestling royalty is up for grabs. A chance to make a huge first prospect appearance here in her debut. A huge chance tonight for Cassidy Cross to show what she is truly worth in WIW. Can she implement herself here, be a former returnee in Katherine Albright, as well as cement herself as one of the top women and show her royal blood?
15 minutes on the clock, the bell rings and away we go, and these women go straight for it. The quick elimination there is Cassidy Cross on Katherine Albright. Only the one WIW alumni in this one with Katherine Albright, someone who has been around in the WIW women's division for a very long time. Had a big performance for her with the win at One for the Road, which is definitely going to boost her momentum coming into this, increase her draft stock in the women's division and the women's portion of the draft as she stuns Cassidy Violet out of the ring. However, she may be the only alumni, but Cassidy Violet, of course, as was announced on Twitter when she decided to come in for the open trials, she, of course, was trained by former world champion Brad Skeens. And so we're expecting big things from her. Brad Skeens, of course, former world champion, is proving straight away in the draft combines his worth. So we know what he's capable of. So hopefully, if half of that rubs off on Cassidy Violet, then we've got a star in the making here. But right now, she's coming face to face with the other Cassidy, Cassidy Cross, the self-proclaimed Queen of the Ring. And she'll be looking to make a strong impact here. But quite a contrast in styles there is the woman facing across from her a second ago before getting drop-kicked from the back by Katherine Albright in Akira Black. And these four women, four very unique styles, all meshing together. Some old, some new, looking to make their name in WIW. And the women's division is full of new names. And that means there is fewer opportunities to get to show yourself off as a debutee. And you're only going to get one attempt at your debut matchup, and for 3 of these women, they get a chance to do just that. Cassidy Violet now, crossing paths with Akira Black, which you say just on appearance alone would be the most compatible. And of course, Akira Black, also a member of the Acolytes, who have not had the best start to life in WIW with Azriel, excuse me, and his tag partner from earlier on tonight, unable to get the job done, although Azriel did put in an amazing performance. And of course, Austin Black, who has not had a great start to life here in the trials, will be looking to push forward. And again, being a part of a faction in these early goings will definitely improve your draft stock, because it shows you've got loyalties, connections. It shows that there are other people looking out for you, which are going to help bump your stock up, and that is exactly what Akira Black will be banking on. But maybe Akira Black can finally start to put some forward momentum on for her group. And right now she's working with Katherine Albright to take out Cassidy Cross. Cassidy Violet, excuse me. I knew that was going to happen. Too many Cassidys in this ring at once. It's definitely going to throw me, so please excuse me if that happens. I'm also very ill, so please excuse the voice. And look at this, crossing the corner. And then the opposite corner, Katherine Albright getting some strikes in. Oh my god, a massive stomp off the middle rope from Katherine Albright, whilst the cover was happening on the opposite side to Akira Black. And Cross now, trying to get up Black, but Katherine Albright wasn't allowing it. Katherine Albright now trying to take in control of the ring. She got rid of Cassidy Violet, and now trying to get Cassidy Cross out of here. Only a 1 count. And now she has Black left alone in the ring, and plants her down. We saw this at the pay-per-view. Is it going to be as effective? Chance to get the win here. It's a 2 count. Get the win, get the elimination, excuse me. And Violet nearly got suplexed there by Cross onto Akira Black, but it was not to be. And now the 2 Cassidys locking horns. Super kick from Cassidy Violet, but only met by a chair shot from Katherine Albright, who's not paying attention to behind her, because behind her is Akira Black looking to get a revenge shot back on her. And stretching her up there in an abdominal stretch, trying to break out the hold. Remember, submissions and pinfalls do need to occur in the ring, but it looks like these women are keeping it quite civil. I mean, the chairs have come into play, but not as many weapons as we've seen in other Fatal 4-Ways. These women trying to rely on their superior in-ring skills to get the job done. Massive DDT there by Cassidy Violet. And Cassidy Violet going to go into the cover there, off the top rope DDT. Big knee there from Akira Black. Senton from Cassidy Violet. And these two have taken control of their respective opponents. And going for the big elimination of Katherine Albright. Definitely going to be points to gain from eliminating an alumni like her. And she does it. Akira Black gets the first elimination there of the matchup, and a surprise elimination of Katherine Albright. Luckily for her, that win for one for the road is going to help up her stock, but that is a big elimination, and just under the 5-minute marks as well. The chair was kicked out of her hand, but she turned it into a Black Widow here on Cassidy Violet. And now has her in a submission hold. Laudicus asking if she is done, but Violet stays strong and plants her on the chair almost, and Cross helps her out there. And for a moment there, the 2 Cassidys working together, and now Cassidy Cross trying to get the elimination on Akira Black, who has got all of the momentum at the moment, but only gets a 1 count for her troubles. And now Cassidy Violet trying to use her speed to her advantage, but Akira Black cut her off, throws her, and oh my god, massive shot to the back, and a stiff kick to the chest as well. And now getting her up. What is she thinking here? Look at this, stalling suplex, the power of Akira Black, who has really taken over control of this matchup. She has been unreal at this point, and is stalling suplex to Cassidy Cross. And now looking to use the chair, and she does. The damage really being inflicted here. And Cassidy Violet rushes back in, and she lands the massive enziguri. And now trying to turn tides back in her favor. Death Valley driver, and rolls through on it. Look at this. Slaps to the face. And before taunting to the crowd, goes for the cover, but Cross and already here with the chair, which had interrupted the pinfall, and it looks like the 2 Cassidys getting in each other's way there, and might be made to pay the price for this. Look at this. Oh my god, what a maneuver! And it landed on the chair. Cassidy Cross is in trouble, and Cassidy Violet gets the elimination, and we are down to 2. And Albright watching on at her competition on the outside. Another elimination. Both of these women remaining have 1 apiece. And now it's down to these 2 to finish each other off and get that last elimination, which is going to help them tenfold. Cassidy Violet and Akira Black, the last 2 remaining. Akira Black, of course, eliminating Katherine Albright. Cassidy Violet eliminating Cassidy Cross. And that'll be a big elimination for both women. This is going to bump up their draft stock drastically, but it's about now whether either of these 2 can get the job done and get that massive impact win that's going to shoot them up the women's rankings. And it has to be said that this is definitely the best performance from any member of the Acolytes. And Akira Black looking to land the finishing blow to really cement her status here in the women's division. Massive Northern Light suplex. Was looking for a brainbuster to follow, but Cassidy Violet was able to stick it out. Went for the drop kick, unable to connect. Went for the enziguri, once again unable to connect. Looking for a 3rd attempt, this time waiting for the offensive, and she lands it. Beautifully done there. And Cassidy Violet has her down for a moment. 7.5 minutes remaining for these 2 to try and find a winner. And the chair coming into play to land the extra damage. And what's Akira Black doing here? brass knuckles from Akira Black. And you could see that Violet was thrown by that, and that's absolutely done the damage. And now, as well as the brass knuckles, she was thinking of a chair, but instead it looks like she's going to do this by hand now. Well, now that we know that we've got the brass knuckles in the arsenal there from Akira Black as well, a chance for even more damage, and Cassidy Violet has something more to worry about. Akira gets back in the ring. Violet is back to her feet now, and a massive hip toss. Beautifully done. Rolls. Oh, love that. Cartwheels through into the drop kick, and might be able to score the quick cover. Can she do it to get rid of Akira Black here at the 2 count? Lordicus was quick to the count there as well, but a very strong kick out from Akira Black. And once again, looking to get some weaponry to help her out here in this matchup. And right as Akira Black comes towards her, the kendo stick coming into play, and the crowd are hyping up as Cassidy Violet is taking this match to the extreme. These women are allowed to do whatever they want to hurt each other, and we've seen the chairs, kendo sticks, brass knuckles, but it's about now who can land the finishing blow to get this one done. Went for a big strike, couldn't. Instead, once again reapplying the Black Widow. Violet has escaped it once tonight. Can she find a way to get out of it again? No, she can't. The first win on the 6-minute mark for the Acolytes. Akira Black, who is laughing at Cassidy Violet, gets a huge victory to rubber stamp herself in the women's division over an established person like Katherine Albright, then getting that elimination as well. 2 out of the 3 of eliminations, and she is the last woman standing with less than 9 minutes gone. A very impressive performance from Akira Black. She stands out appearance-wise, and she stood out tonight in this matchup, really cementing herself up there in the women's rankings. A lot of women will be put on notice now. Akira Black and the Acolytes gets their first victory for the group here in WIW. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card.
Mason. When are you gonna start realizing this? I always have a plan B. Now, granted, not that we needed one, of course, because when the playing field was leveled, what happened to your boys? They collapsed. We dealt with them personally. But then you wanted to try your luck, and we knew that you would start using the numbers game. It's powerful, isn't it? You couldn't help yourself. And so we took preventative measures. Now, this guy is not with us, but he is a force, a former world champion even. Someone who we know will level the playing fields in our favor. I tried to warn you before, Mason. This is my turf. This is the place that I built. There was a reason I was world champion, and it wasn't the numbers game. But if the numbers game has to come into play, I know Nathaniel's got my back, and I know now that I have the ultimate equalizer. I'll take it from here, Skeens. I may not like these two, but I do agree with one thing. Sometimes justice does need to be served. The original Brad that you know was dead, until I resurrected him in a new mold, a new form. But I'm still the same beast that I once was. I was a former world champion in this company. But the numbers game took that away from me. And I'm not letting the numbers game do it again to anyone. And so, for the right price, consider me a hitman for hire. The ultimate equalizer. So if you thought you were going to come in here and use the numbers game to your advantage, Mason, after complaining about justice doing it, think again. So let me make this final warning to you, Mason. Because if that last beating we gave you didn't get the point across, hopefully this does. As long as they're paying the bills, these two are under my protection. And so unless you want to see what the equalizer is really capable of, I suggest you leave these two be and you stay out of my way. And not just a warning to you, Mason, a warning to everyone. Things are going to be leveled out here. Justice will be served, but not at the hands of these two, at the hands of the equalizer. After some thrilling tag team action, it is time to move on back to the Battle Royals. Battle Royal number 2. Let's call them the middle of the pack guys right now, who are looking to break into the top half of the draft order and not fall down into the bottom half. Out first, a man who is looking to impress, who right now, despite being the leader, is currently ranked lower than his fellow society member Keahi. It is Aku. And Aku, of course, last week went to a brilliant 3-way tie with Sylar Jordan, the natural born thriller, as well as the existential life of the party, Jay Evans. And he has a chance tonight to finally settle that score. It may be a battle royal, but both of those two I can confirm are in this match, and here is one of them now. Now, after last week's match, there was some mixed feelings from them. Aku, of course, stayed quite quiet and professional in the matter. However, I noticed that there was a bit of a verbal exchange between Jay Evans and Sylar Jordan on Twitter, which Sylar Jordan didn't rise to, but Jay Evans always trying to provide a little bit of extra spice to proceedings. And these three will be desperate to determine who is the best out of the three and really help move them up the rank. And I think that was what held them back here, because Aku and Jay Evans both have had really good debuts. Sylar Jordan, an alumni of WIW, he will be desperate to prove himself though and move up the rankings. But if these three kind of stay on the same level peggings in terms of rankings, that's really going to weigh all three of them down, because it limits how high you can put them above other people. And as I've mentioned, the higher up in the draft that you are drafted, the more points you will start off with when the point system is introduced. And so it is pivotal for these three to impress themselves. And look at this, flying straight back into the ring. It is the former Road to Glory winner, James Commander, who joins the fray here amongst these three who will be itching to get the upper hand on each other. But someone who needs to impress is definitely this man, who we know can perform at a high level, but has to do so here tonight in order to keep himself in contention for those top spots. And another man who'll be looking to do that is Dino D, another legacy which I think is helping him stake his case here in WIW, but of course he needs to start converting that legacy into victories, and a chance here to do that tonight. And of course in a battle royal it's always difficult because there's so many bodies flying around. You really got to prove what you can do and show off your abilities in the 15 minutes that you've been given, and it's hard to do when bodies are flying around. Well, one man who will be looking to grab everyone's attention here is the member of Justice known as A.D. Nathaniel. After making a huge statement last week with his tag team win with Brad Skeens over the Divine Right, he is now looking to singles competition once again. Unsuccessful in his first Fatal 4-Way, but will be looking to win the Battle Royal here in order to really cement himself as a solo act within WIW. The members of Justice will not be acting as a tag team, so they will not be going into the tag division. But I know that AD Nathaniel has that power advantage to prove it. Of course, he was pivotal in the win last week, and that is going to help his ranking a bunch. Another win here could see him move into the upper echelons of the draft pool. And someone else who desperately you feel needs a win, it is this man, the former 5-time world champion, King Sam, who has come into these combines, I think maybe a bit too overconfident and a little bit out of practice, because he's come in and he has been, quite frankly, shambolic. He really needs a win here to pull some momentum back. We know he's always going to have the legacy of a 5-time world champion, which is going to help move him up the rankings and escalate him dramatically. But he knows more than anyone he has to prove himself here tonight, and a win in this battle royal might move him up into the upper echelons, where he's going to be wanting to look to find Stephen Thomas, who right now, truth be told, is looking like the #1 prospect. And speaking of prospects who are making a name for themselves, out comes Original Brad, here in a battle royal with the man he helped last week in AD Nathaniel. He's out here to impress himself, the self-proclaimed equalizer now, looking to stamp his mission statement of balance across WIW for the right price. And I get it to an extent, but if you're just doing it for a paycheck, who are you really helping other than yourself? But Original Brad has made his statement known and will be looking to implement that in this battle royal here tonight.
15 minutes on the clock, bell rings, and away we go. A lot of people who desperately need a win in this one. None more than King Sam, you'd say, who's had an appalling start to life in the WIW reboot. And his draft stock is lowering right now, probably just relying on the fact that he is a former multiple-time world champion to keep himself in the high regards. Also in this matchup, the three from the triple threat who survived till the end of the 15-minute stint in the Fatal 4-Way last week. Aku, the leader of society. Sylar Jordan, the natural-born thriller. And the life of the party, Jay Evans. The latter of the two, Sylar Jordan and Jay Evans, have had some words on Twitter as well. So definitely some animosity there. No one is quite over the result of the triple threat. They were all looking for a winner, but unfortunately none of them were able to do it. And another thing to pay attention to here is the potential alliance of AD Nathaniel and Original Brad. Now, Original Brad, from what we gather, is on the payroll of the Justice team, but he is not officially with them, so how short-lived will that alliance be? King Sam already in trouble there as Jay Evans looking to get the elimination. And now look at his powerbomb to Sylar Jordan. And a face buster to Dino D there from Aku and Original Brad respectively. And now they're going to team together here to take out Commander. And for this match, this is all about raising the draft stock, getting another chance to show yourself in a different scenario. You've had elimination matches, you've had singles matches, some of them, and now they have a chance to show themselves in a new light here. A chance to progress high up the rankings, and that's what it's all about. Oh my god, and AD Nathaniel really tossed the Original Brad over the top rope there. Not sure if they went for each other. It looked like a mosh pit of people there. But their temporary alliance, I think, is gone already. And it might be the end of AD Nathaniel's night already anyway. As Dino D is looking to eliminate him. He's got him in a precarious situation on the perch of the top rope. And is that the first elimination of this matchup? No, it is not. And Jay Evans now looking for a package pile driver to Original Brad. And the Hitman for Hire is wiped out. Oh my god, that is a disgusting pile driver from Jay Evans. King Sam was going for something, but he failed. And Sylar Jordan certainly didn't fail with that. Powerbomb by Jay Evans. So much going on here. Meanwhile, the leader of the society is paired up with Dino D, and he's now going back to Jay Evans, who he has some unfinished business with from last week. Was looking for an elimination, but Jay Evans able to evade the ropes. Beautifully done by Sylar Jordan, but immediately taken out by Dino D. Chaos everywhere in this. No eliminations as of yet. Massive clothesline from Jay Evans. Lots of stories here in this matchup. Everyone looking to prove themselves. They all need a win here to really cement themselves. Of course, it could still end a tie. And I'm sure if it ended a tie between Aku, Sylar Jordan, and Jay Evans again, they would be fuming. I'm sure that that's not going to be the case in a chaotic match like this. Anything could happen, but it's something that you've got to be wary of, and I'm sure will be weighing on the back of their minds. For those three in particular, they're going to want a winner between the three of them at the very least. And now King Sam has Dino D in a position in the corner. Big drop kick, or not drop kick, but more of a front kick as it were. Meanwhile, Aku now trying to get rid of the first elimination here, but it looks like it's already happened. The first elimination has taken place. Out goes the former Road to Glory winner. James Commander is eliminated by AD Nathaniel. And meanwhile, Original Brad is in a bad spot to be eliminated, but hasn't been. He survives, and James Commander is out, and that's not going to help his stock. The former Road to Glory winner and WIW alumni eliminated first, and that's not what anyone's going to want in this matchup. You want to survive as long as possible. We're almost at the 5-minute mark here. A third of the way through the match, and that is the first elimination. Oh, and Dino D. Oh, he caught Brad unaware. He was concentrating on Aku, and he paid the price as he is booted over the top rope. Dino D with a huge elimination. The former world champion eliminated, and the crowd lapping that one up after ruining things at the end for Mason Foster. That is a beautiful sign to see. Original Brad, oh, look at that. And Jay Evans messing up whatever Sylar Jordan was going for there by taking out Dino D. And these two staying apart from each other, maybe trying to save each other for the end here. You know they've both got points to prove. And now look at King Sam here, going for the big maneuver on Aku. Big knee. And Sylar Jordan getting caught boasting there. Oh, and King Sam not paying attention, and that's allowed Aku time to breathe. Aku gets away from him. And this is what I'm talking about from King Sam. He's really showing a lack of ring awareness, a lack of sharpness. Again, it is like Stephen said, it looks like he has just spent the last 5 years not wrestling at the very least. I don't want to say sitting on his arse like he did, but King Sam, he's still got the moves, and he's proving it there with a massive Dragon Rana, and now trying to stay in control of Nathaniel with a massive cutter. Sylar Jordan now going on to Aku, someone who he's definitely going to have a grudge with after last week, and look at this, showing it there, angry stomps to the back of the head, and the fact that AD Nathaniel is able to take advantage of the situation here on King Sam is going to help him out a bunch, and now Dino D's got him up. Oh, but Aku saved there by AD Nathaniel, and now Nathaniel might have put himself in the firing line. Big knee from Sylar Jordan, who connects with Jay Evans, and right as they finally lock horns, Dino D takes full advantage of that fact. 9 minutes remaining, and there's still quite a few in this matchup. Aku runs into a big boot there, and Sylar Jordan catching the big man. Oh, and drills him head first there. And now Jay Evans on the other side. End of days. And the big moves are piling in. Big DDT, which looks to have cut open Sylar Jordan there. And now a package pile driver, a move that Sam will be very familiar with from his former Wolfpack brother in David. And now went for a chop. And now he's 2-1 here. And now they're actually, no, it looked like a triple threat then. Trading strikes between the three of them. And Aku trying to hype up the crowd, but wasn't paying attention to Sylar Jordan behind him. Sylar Jordan, you know, would have a smile on his face as he gets that elimination, but now is in jeopardy himself. Aku is eliminated, but Sylar Jordan might end up following him. Aku was caught taunting and hyping up the crowd, and he was made to pay for it, and Sylar Jordan wasn't paying attention to his surroundings, and now he's out. And he's not going to be happy with that one. Dino D with his second elimination in the match, and now Jay Evans looking to put an end to the elimination streak. Can he get Dino D out of this match? He can. Jay Evans gets the elimination. And now AD Nathaniel of Justice is also eliminated. Several eliminations in a moment there. And we are down to 2. King Sam with an elimination to AD Nathaniel. And this could be it. This could finally be the win that he's been looking for in these trials. He hasn't found one yet. Gets an elimination and he's made it to the final 2. That's good. Could be enough to keep him alive, but he needs a win desperately. And a big win this would be if he can get it. Cross arm drag there. Oh my god, almost shoulder tackled massively there by Jay Evans. 7 minutes remaining, and we are down to 2. These two have the space to work, but who can get the final elimination? Goes underneath there, and oh, twists him down. We saw that last week in the triple threat. Or fatal four-way as it was that became a triple threat. And King Sam is in trouble. Can he hold on? No, he can't. His run of form is still haunting him. He makes it to the final 2. But Jay Evans, the life of the party, has a big win. And he gets, I guess, his answer over Aku and Sylar Jordan. Look at the confidence he's exuding there. He clearly is happy with that one. And I'm sure he'll have plenty to say on that. But the life of the party, lapping up a huge win, which is going to catapult him up the rankings. King Sam comes up short right at the very end there. It's his best looking performance. But again, it's close, but no cigar. Big win for Jay Evans. Definitely some more to think about there as we look into the rankings. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card. 15 minutes on the clock. Bell rings for the final time tonight, and away we go. And oh my god, that's one hell of a way to start there with a brainbuster from SDC. And in a mix of this match, we've got a few newcomers here, of course, in Maven and Keahi of the Society. We've got Ahmet Ali as well, but we've got a lot of established names. Former world champion Mason Foster, former world champion Brad Skeens, the hero of wrestling SDC, who has been around for the longest period of time, it feels like, in WIW. One of the originals of WIW, even WYW, in Stephen Thomas, who right now is looking like the top prospect. And maybe the close number 2 in terms of prospects is the infinite hero James Frost, who is flying in at Ahmet Ali right now. And with only 15 minutes to get this done, they might not get a winner in this one. We've had the winners so far tonight, but in a match this stacked with this high level of talent, you never know what can happen. There's a lot of crossing paths here. We've got 2 different self-proclaimed heroes of wrestling in James Frost and SDC in this ring. Mason Foster and Brad Skeens, of course, with their seemingly destined to intertwine with each other. That continues. Stephen, of course, right now it feels like has a grudge with everyone in this match. SDC in particular, who of course will be seeking revenge. Right now repping the Society is Keahi, and he's going to be eager and itching to make a lasting impression. And right now there's a massive amount of giants in this ring as well. The mass and size in this ring is staggering. Now, we've had giants in WIW before, but they've not always dominated the pile. Oh my god! Ahmet Ali just tosses Maven over his head, and now does the same with Skeens, folding him in half with a suplex. And Ahmet Ali is running roughshod on the ring right now. And again, I'd be very surprised if we find a winner, but again, a winner in this pile is gonna go a long way. Right now, these are the top prospects in the draft, looking like they're gonna be high up there. And right now, Ahmet Ali is going crazy, which is why Stephen Thomas needs to slow him down. Big Steve there. Never been a world champion. Is the only member of the Wolfpack that was never a singles champion. Of course, Alex Wilson, the prodigy of King Sam, he was a former world heavyweight champion. David was a hardcore champion twice over. Oh, burning helmet to James Frost. That's going to do the damage. Of course, as well, King Sam, multiple-time world champion. He was a hardcore champion as well. Stephen, the only person who was unable to capture singles gold, but he did hold more tag titles than anyone in the history of WIW, I believe, with 5, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 different partners, as he won it with Alex Wilson as well during David's injury. But right now, he's found a new lease of life. He did not have a great performance at One for the Road, but he was proving why. He was saying, and he claimed, that, you know, David was the liability, and so far he's proven it right. Was going for a Superman punch there to Frost, and the number 1 and number 2 current ranked prospects locking up with each other there. There's a Northern Lights. Meanwhile, the 2 giants, look at that, Ahmet Ali is folding him like it's a piece of paper, and that is a 7-foot giant monster, hell-bent on destroying people. And Keahi, who's had a slow start to this match, a lot of rest and recovery from Keahi, might find himself at the receiving end of an elimination here. Stephen looking for the first elimination of the match, and this would be a big L for the Society. Oh, but Foster is helping. Mason Foster trying to help and get him over. But Keahi able to power through. And Keahi right now. Oh no, look at that. He manages to escape the 2, but Ahmet Ali comes in and cleans up. And right now, Ahmet Ali is cleaning up this matchup. Skeens now trying to find a footing in the matchup himself. I think and imagine he'd be wanting to do his best to avoid Mason Foster after the things he did to him over the past few weeks. And right now, Mason Foster under fire from James Frost, finding the time to retreat, and SDC gets met. These 2 colliding again following their match earlier in the Combines. And a great match it was, which ended on count out, and I'm sure SDC would love to get a lick of revenge. But right now, he's locked up with a familiar face in Brad Skeens. Oh my god, Frost just got sent flying there with that backhand. And right now, the Giants are running rush shot. I think people need to rethink how they're doing this, but Foster has finally locked eyes with Skeens, and he's going at him. But Stephen, intercepting now, Big Steve on the attack, and a beautiful spinning kick. And SDC was in trouble there for a minute, but the hero slays the monster for the moment. And SDC straight under fire from Skeens, who is straight under fire from Stephen Thomas with a big knee. And now All was going for a super kick, caught by Frost. These two keep locking up. They keep intertwining. Massive forearm there from Frost. And once again, SDC gets caught with a back elbow. And Maven now, big suplex. 5 minutes gone, and only one elimination so far. And once again, Stephen and James Frost locking up as they have quite a few times in this match. But I think they really need to shift their focus towards the big men. And James Frost does so with a dropkick. And for the third time, SDC gets planted with an elbow. Did I just see that correctly? Did Maven just do a Dragon Rana reversal? That is... okay, well, we've officially seen everything there is to see in wrestling. Ahmet Ali now has James Frost in a bad way. Frost is in trouble. And James Frost is out of there. Someone who has performed so well in the trials so far. He is out of there. And Ahmet Ali picks up his second elimination. And he's starting to look like the real deal, Ahmet Ali. Like, he's built like crazy. But he is absolutely dominating in this matchup right now. And now he has the former world champion in his sights. And look at this. Foster was thinking to assist there, but I think he realized who it was, and he changed course. And now Skeens is out of here. That's 3 eliminations for Ahmet Ali. And now Foster trying to take advantage of Ahmet Ali, trying to get him out. He can't. Stephen now trying to assist to help get rid of Ali if he can. Gets Ali in the corner and trying to scoop him up. Meanwhile, SDC trying to take out Maven on his own. These giants are running roughshod. I think the 3 men that are remaining that aren't the 2 big men need to start working together, or this is going to end up badly for all 3 of them. And Stephen, oh my god, massive strike there from Stephen, takes him down. Meanwhile, 2 friends here locking up, SDC and Mason Foster too, who have had a lot of collision courses in their time in WIW, of course. Both faced off in the Triple Threat. They were 2 of the 3 members of the Triple Threat for the European title at Insomnia. A lot of history there from 2 well-established WIW alumni. And right now, Foster is dealing with the biggest threat in Ahmet Ali, but then straight away gets met by Maven. And the 2 big men now finally locking horns, as perhaps they should have been a long time ago. Maven and Ahmet Ali exchanging blows in the middle of the ring. Meanwhile, the hero of wrestling and the Welsh Wonder Man, as I'm starting to dub him, I know he's going to hate me for that, going for SDC. SDC skins the cap and Mason stays on top of him, but he isn't paying attention. Double elimination. SDC is gone and Mason is gone as well. Stephen is now left with Ahmet Ali and Maven on his own. 2 quick-fire eliminations, 2 huge upset eliminations there. And we are down to 3. Stephen Thomas, Maven, who just absolutely lariats Stephen Thomas, and Ahmet Ali, who already has 3 eliminations in this match. And now Stephen is in serious trouble here. Going for a choke slam. Oh no, we saw this last week. The choke hold that he has around the neck. And I mean, he can't get him by submission, but if Stephen's passed out, he's going over that top rope a hell of a lot easier. And right now, Ahmet Ali just going to let it happen. Steve escapes. Oh, and I thought Ahmet Ali was trying to just force him over the top rope, but he couldn't. Instead, now goes back to Stephen, who is no slouch himself at 6'7", but right now getting bodied by these 2 massive 7-footers. And Steve cleverly rolls out of the way. He's going to let these 2 fight. And Ahmet Ali goes for elimination number 4, and he gets it. Half of the field eliminated by Ahmet Ali, who is now left alone with the former Wolfpack man. And he's taking time to let people know about it. Ahmet Ali, he's looking confident in this match, but you can never underestimate Stephen Thomas. He always has a plan up his sleeve. And Superman punch! Massive strike! We're coming into the 10-minute mark now of this 15-minute contest. Stephen, can he force himself to push him over, get him over the top rope, get the elimination? We're down to these 2. And Ahmet Ali is able to force himself free. But look at him, he's tired. That took him a lot of energy. And Steven backed off, but only to turn around and find Ahmet straight back on him. And these two are really going hammer and tong now at each other. 5 minutes remaining, and we're down to the final 2. Who can get the job done? Ahmet Ali is looking to make it him. Looking to get the job done. Oh, but Ahmet, he couldn't do it. Tried to get him over, but he couldn't get the job done. Massive knee there by Steven. Steven is holding on for dear life, but he needs to try and figure out a way to get the big man over. Ahmet Ali is in complete control, dominating the match, but he needs to find a way to get Steven over the top rope. He is no slouch in terms of height, but the strength advantage is definitely there. Steven once again escaping the grasps, trying to get the job done. Gets Ali over, but can he find the way to eliminate him? No, he can't. He holds on again, but once again going straight back over. Skins the cat, but this time Steven has it scouted, and Steven is won again. He's 3 for 3 in the Combine, and that is a huge victory. You can't argue that Ahmet Ali probably looked the most impressive in that matchup. But wow, Steven Thomas eliminating the 2 giants at the end. Well, not eliminating them necessarily, but surviving. And that is what Steve was all about in this match. He stayed strong for as long as he could. He took it to the big men, and he was able to score a huge victory, which I think is right now securing him as one of, if not the, top prospect in WIW. That's going to be it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show, and if you want to get involved, be sure to follow us on Twitter, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Peace.